Hello everybody and welcome to today's meditation. This is a series all for anxiety to help people work through a really simple series that will help them to find a little bit of calm really. I struggle with anxiety for many years and it's something that has really troubled me do apologise, and meditation and relaxation have been completely transformational really in helping me to manage my anxiety. So today's theme then is thoughts. And when we sit in a meditation practice, it's very common for a lot of us, me included, for our minds to drift around a lot and think about lots of different things. So when we excuse me, when we try to work with thoughts during a meditation practice, it's actually really helpful because it helps us to to first of all understand that meditation isn't about emptying your mind of thoughts, and it also helps us to, once we understand that, then to recognize those thoughts that we're having, and then to try and work with those a little bit. So when we come into a meditation practice, you may be sat meditating and then a thought comes in. And the way that we try and look at it within the mindfulness world is that we acknowledge them thoughts, we notice them thoughts, we understand that them thoughts will come and they'll pass. And then we return to whatever it is we're focusing back on. If you want to join me then, we're going to have a little go at that today. And I would definitely encourage you to grab yourself a blanket. If you are feeling really chilly today, I know I'm feeling chilly today. There we go. So grab yourself a blanket and make sure that you're nice and comfortable and nice and relaxed. Okay. So remember as well, this meditation series, if you are unable to do the times that I stream these sessions, then the beauty with these sessions is that you can always catch up, which is always useful. So wherever you are watching this from, whatever platform you're accessing this from, I hope that you're finding them helpful. So then allowing yourself to get into a lovely, relaxed, comfortable posture. An upright seated posture if possible. However, don't feel that you have to choose this posture. It's entirely up to you how you choose to sit, lie, stand today. And then allowing your eyes to close if they haven't done already, or just lowering your gaze. So I want to invite you then now just to check in with the body. How are you feeling today? What's your internal weather like? Are you feeling tired or refreshed? Anxious, relaxed? And remember, in mindfulness, we're not trying to change how we feel or change the state of how we are. We just learn to notice how we are. And we do that with kindness and with compassion. And a wonderful mindfulness teacher reminded me of something that I actually don't talk about a lot of the time. However, I know this to be true, but mindfulness is about bringing in a non-judgmental attitude to your experience, to whatever's happening. This idea of being non-judgmental. So maybe you can bring those qualities to today's practice, especially if the mind feels extremely busy. So I want to invite you now to connect with your breath. Where do you feel your breath today? Where are the sensations in the body present as you breathe? So what we're doing here is just noticing any sensations that we're experiencing in this very moment. So for me, it's really obvious today when I breathe. I can feel my breath at the nose. You can feel the movements in my nostrils. And if I zoom in a little bit further on that, I can even feel a difference between left and right. So there's always usually one nostril which is more dominant than the other. This is interesting to notice when we look at these sensations and the sensations of breathing. I also notice this exchange of warm and cool air. And when we focus on our direct experience of the breath, it helps to anchor us completely into this present moment. So, helping us to be completely present, even if it's just for a few moments, small little micro moments where you are awake, you're tuned in, you're completely here, showing up with this non-judgmental attitude and these, I guess, the flavor of compassion and kindness. And you're showing up and you're just noticing what's real now. But maybe expanding your awareness to other areas of the body where you can also feel the breath, where you also notice movement, sensation. And now today's theme then is working with thoughts. So you may have already noticed then that the mind has begun to drift around and that thoughts are coming in, possibly thick and fast, because usually in meditation practice that's what happens. We tend to think about so many random things actually that come into our minds, and this surprises us because, especially if I've done a meditation, I sometimes think, why am I even thinking that now? So if this is true for you, that's okay, this happens. Remember, we're not trying to empty the mind. We are simply just noticing the breath, and then noticing when our mind wanders away. And when it wanders away, we bring it back. So how can we work with thoughts then in a meditation practice? It's important to acknowledge, first of all, that we can learn to just notice the thoughts first. Recognize. Let those thoughts know that you have seen them, you have heard them. Because often what we resist persists is a wonderful saying in the mindfulness world. When we try and stop these thoughts, what tends to happen is that thoughts come in a lot more. So just by acknowledging them, giving them space to be there, and then returning back to the breath. And it's this continuous backwards and forwards, this continuous dance of noticing and then taking your awareness back time and time again. And it can be even helpful to say in your mind, of course, hello thought, I've seen you, I hear you. And then goodbye thought. Really, really simple strategy here, but often works really well for lots of people during a meditation practice. So maybe just seeing if you can work with that a little bit now. If there are any thoughts coming in, working to notice them, and then return back to the breath. And if you want to, you can use them words, hello thought, I've seen you, and goodbye. Just using that breath as an anchor. Returning back to that anchor time and time again. And just before we bring this practice to a close today, this idea of working with thoughts doesn't just apply with meditation practices. Through the application of meditation practices, when we develop our ability to notice more, it starts to spill out into our everyday. And we start to notice more of our mind's habits and how our mind creates false realities and made up features, creates and amplifies suffering that we already experience. And when we learn to notice that, we can work to notice that our thoughts are not always facts. And if you're somebody that struggles with anxiety, this can be really, really freeing, actually. You recognize that the thoughts that you're having are not always true, which means that you have a choice. You have a choice as to whether or not you want to, add to your suffering and you want to make yourself feel worse. You have a choice. You can maybe choose to stop and to pause, to notice that the thoughts are not facts, and to take a few deeper breaths and to check in with the body. Notice what you need in that moment to help you feel a little less anxious. It might just be a few deeper breaths. So know that this is a really valuable practice when we learn to recognize our thoughts, and the practice of meditation will absolutely start to change the way that you view the world, you view yourself. But obviously this is a practice and it doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, commitment is definitely required. So if you're ready then in your own time, you can gently take a stretch and move the body in any way you need to today. Maybe just to notice how you're feeling now after that meditation practice. I always love a meditation practice. It's just an opportunity to stop just for a short amount of time, even if it's just a 5-minute practice. Maybe just set an alarm on your phone throughout the day, and just stop for 5 minutes. Notice the breath, notice your surroundings, notice how you're feeling. Yeah, it can be helpful. Okay, so I will see you then for day 9, and until then, you take care. Thank you so much for following. Please share this series with anyone you know it will benefit, and I will see you soon. See you later, everyone. Bye.